No one dared to stop at that gas station after midnight, not because it was abandoned, but because its lights were still on, even though it had been closed for over 10 years. Drivers passing along Highway 17 in upstate New York swore they could see the white neon flicker through the fog, calling to them, or perhaps waiting for them. One winter evening, under a sky as gray as steel, snow drifted soundlessly over the frozen asphalt. The roads were almost empty, only the faint streaks of headlights gliding like ghosts between the trees. That night, a small delivery truck broke down about a mile from the station. The driver, a man in his late 30s, didn't know the stories. All he wanted was warmth, light, and a working phone. When he looked up, he saw them, the lights, glowing faintly through the swirling snow. The gas station looked alive, neon buzzing weakly, the old price sign frozen in time, and behind the smeared glass front, the silhouette of a man standing at the counter, staring straight at him. Relief spread through him. A 24-hour station? Out here? Lucky me, he thought. He coaxed the sputtering truck toward the pumps, the engine whining in protest. The sound of sleet drumming on the roof filled his ears as he stepped out into the freezing air. Silence. Heavy, watchful silence. He approached the glass window, raised his hand to knock, and froze. The silhouette was gone. The inside looked empty, dusty, dim, lifeless. But then, out of the corner of his eye, one of the fuel hoses began to move, twitching slightly, as if someone was pumping gas into an invisible car. He took a step back. Inside, something clicked, the sharp metallic sound of a cash register door sliding open. Then the lights began to die, one by one, leaving only the faint glow of the neon sign flickering red and white through the storm. That was when he felt it. A presence behind him. Close enough that he could feel its breath brushing the back of his neck. He didn't turn. He couldn't even breathe. Then a whisper, cold, broken, almost human, slid into his ear. "Go back, she never left." For a long, trembling moment, he stood still, unable to move. Then the wind howled, tearing across the metal sign above the door, making it shriek like a living thing. He had no choice. He reached for the handle and pushed the glass door open. It groaned, a long, aching sound, like a door that hadn't moved in years. He stepped inside. The smell hit him first, old gasoline, rusted oil, and wet decay. Dust covered everything, yet fresh footprints trailed across the floor, leading from the entrance to the counter, and stopping abruptly by the door to the back room. The lights overhead flickered, revealing rows of ancient shelves, newspapers yellowed with time, and bottles of water half frozen with age. Behind the counter, the cash register sat slightly ajar, as though someone had left it in a hurry. Above it, a wall clock hung frozen at 3:17 a.m. Its hands were broken, yet a faint ticking still echoed in the silence. He stood there, listening, telling himself it was all just an illusion, a trick of the mind, or of exhaustion. But then, something caught his eye. A reflection in the glass in front of him. A tall, dark figure was standing in the middle of the aisle, featureless, shifting like smoke. He spun around. Nothing. Only dust motes drifting in the weak light. When he turned back to the glass, the reflection was still there, staring at him from inside the glass itself. He stepped closer. The air thickened. The lights dimmed as though the station were falling asleep around him. He whispered, barely audible. "Hello? Is someone there?" Only his echo replied, until another sound emerged. A whisper. Not from one voice, but many murmuring together, overlapping, speaking in a language he didn't recognize. The cold sank into his bones. He reached for the desk lamp, but before he touched it, the lamp turned on by itself. The wall beside him glowed faintly, revealing scratches, deep, uneven grooves clawed into the paint, as if someone had tried to escape from inside the wall. In the center of the wall, scrawled in dark, dried crimson, were the words, "She's still here." His heart pounded. He turned, nothing behind him. Only the echo of the wind. He pushed open the door to the back room. A narrow corridor stretched ahead, leading into darkness. The floor was layered in dust, except for one perfect, circular patch of clean concrete, as if someone stood there every night. When he stepped closer, the ground shuddered faintly beneath his feet, a slow, rhythmic tremor, like breathing. Then the lights went out. Footsteps followed, slow, deliberate, coming from behind him. They stopped right at his back. And this time, the breathing was unmistakably female, shallow, ragged, trembling. A hand, ice cold, brushed the back of his neck. He turned sharply. No one. Only a small mirror on the wall, reflecting his pale face. But in the mirror's reflection, his eyes were wider than they should have been, and the reflection was smiling. He stumbled backward, slammed into a metal door, and forced it open. A narrow staircase descended into the dark. The air was colder there, heavier, thick with something ancient. On the wall above the stairs, faded letters spelled out, "The light doesn't reach below."